I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of a newsletter called Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy, and Tech Stocks. I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum. It's November 12th, 2021. I'm here with Ralph Shearing. He is the president and CEO of ATLY Mining Corp. It's a company with one producing polymetallic mine in Mexico, and it has another a gold mine that's soon to be starting up with production, I understand. It is a story I think not too many people are aware of. So I'm really glad to have Ralph with me. Thanks for joining me, Ralph.
Thanks, Jay. Really appreciate the opportunity. It's always good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. So Campo Morata is your polymetallic. It's a zinc-rich VMS deposit, I understand. Tell us about that. How are things going there?
They're going really well, actually. Campo Morata is probably like the sixth largest zinc producer in Mexico. We've been producing there at a steady rate. We're making $2 million in operating profit on a monthly basis. We produced 43 million pounds of zinc in the first half of the year, so we're on track to get double that for the end of this year. We're doing a lot of work on improving the metallurgical recoveries, so we've got a full court press on metallurgical testing underway. That's probably going to take another 3 to 4 months to get to the bottom of that, but we would hope to be able to increase our precious metal recoveries and base metal recoveries at the end of that. There's excellent exploration potential at Campo Morata. We think that if we get it healthy enough and start drilling again, that we can bring in new resources and reserves and justify expansions at that mine.
Right, your recoveries are where I think there's a lot of upside there if you can improve those. And I'm looking at something like 22% for gold, 46% for silver. Is that?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I mean, we've been able to get our gold recoveries up to the 20% level recently, and silver recoveries up to 50%. And it's a volcanogenic massive sulfide deposit, and these can be tricky metallurgy at times. And we've got one that's one of the trickier ones. So, but it's a big deposit. There's lots of potential, and if we can solve these or improve these metallurgical recoveries, then we're going to really turn that mine into a very, very profitable situation. It is profitable now. We're getting primarily on zinc, but we're making good money, especially in today's zinc market. It's base metal prices have moved up nicely, and we're doing quite well.
So your production cost, just to give us an idea of the margin there, I think you said zinc is selling at about $1.50 now.
Right, yeah.
And your margins?
Well, at all-in sustaining costs, we're at 77 cents per pound of zinc equivalent produced, and that was in Q2 of this year. And project cost, it's called C1 cash cost, we're about 48 cents a pound in Q2. So we're just getting ready to come out with Q3 numbers. We don't see a lot of difference coming out, but we'll wait till they get published. But it is, a very profitable situation. And even at those prices, if we get a future downward trend on zinc prices, we still have a lot of room to make money. And that's
especially if you can increase the recoveries.
The precious metal recoveries, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's one project that's in production. You got cash flow, positive. We like that word, positive.
Yes,
positive
cash flow is nice. Yeah. You don't have to dilute.
Well, positive cash flow is very nice.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And then you have another in Durango. You have a gold project. Yeah. It's close to production. Tell us about that.
Well, Tabahueto it's a great project. This is a gold project. As 80% of the the revenue will be from gold. We're building a 1,000 ton a day underground mining operation. We expect to have it up in operation near the end of this year at half capacity. So installing one ball mill, getting up and running, and then Q1 next year, bring the second ball mill online, and then we would be working towards 1,000 tons per day in Q2. Hopefully, we get to the being able to declare commercial production Q3, Q4 of next year. But as soon as we start the ball mill up, we'll be cash flowing there. And Tabahueto should produce 25,000 ounces of gold. It should produce 42,000 ounces gold equivalent with all metals. If you were to add Campo Morata on a gold equivalent basis, that's putting us up to the high 80s to 100,000 ounces of gold equivalent in all metals.
Right. Yeah. And I believe that both projects have room for expansion.
Both have excellent exploration potential, Jay. I mean, we haven't had any money to actually get drilling again. So as soon as we can get drilling again, I'm very confident that at Tabahueto that within 6 months to a year, we would build up enough resources to justify a doubling the size. So go to 2,000 tons per day in between 2 to 5 years time. I think we can build that mine into a 3,000 ton a day underground mining operation. Make it very similar to a Fresnillo operation called La Cienega, which is 80 kilometers to the south of us in the Sierra Madre. That's what that potential, the exploration potential there holds for the company and the project. Campo Morata, equally as good exploration potential, although a different mineralizing system. And we think drill there. We've got targets that were identified by the previous owner, both in close to the mine. So based on borehole geophysics, targets are there ready to drill. They've actually drilled a couple of them, hit intersections of good sulfide mineralization. We just need to drill those off. And then on a property scale basis, we have numerous targets to go after there as well. So they're all there, just set up and drill and test them. And any one of those property scale targets could bring in new massive sulfide zones. So lots and lots of exploration potential.
So what about your balance sheet? You have some debt?
Yeah, we have $35 million worth of debt of primary to Trafigura and Nearstar. We should be able to service that debt, pay it totally out within 3 years from cash flow at Tabaweto alone. That's what our cash flow modeling shows. So add to that the cash flow we're making from Campo Morata, and we can reduce that time.
Yeah. So you have enough reserves or resources to take you how long on
So reserve basis at Tabaweto is 10 years, more or less.
reserves?
Yeah, and with M&I resources, that could add another 10 years. That's without drilling another drill hole. I mean, we would probably have to drill a few drill holes in the M&I to upgrade it to reserves, but that's the potential there. And Campo Morata, same thing. We're at 2,000 tons a day. We have 20-year plus of reserves, or resources, I'm sorry. Yeah. Campo Morato's never had a reserve calculation because it was owned by a bigger company, Nearstar, and they weren't required to file 43-101 reports.
Yeah.
Although it's an operating mine, and we've been operating there for several years.
They were interested in the zinc, I guess.
Exactly.
The zinc story, predominantly a zinc project.
At this point in time, if our metallurgical testing goes the way I hope it can, I think we can start claiming Campo Morata to be a silver mine. And we have 123 grams of silver per ton in the global resource.
Oh, yeah.
But we're only getting 50% of it, 40 to 50% now. So if we can up that to 80, 90%, then we're going to produce a lot of silver.
Icing on the cake if you can do that. So in closing, what investors should be, what are the drivers? What should be watching for? I guess just
right away we're undervalued like most companies are. What we would say as a CEO. But if you look at our enterprise value over EBITDA, we're at about 0.16 or 1.6. And traditionally, our Mexican peers in polymetallics are about 9. So we've got a lot of growth rate there just to catch up to that. What they should be looking for is metallurgical efficiencies at Campo Morata, increasing revenue. Tabaweto coming on stream, that's a big plus for us. That doubles our revenue. And then just get exploration going and try to expand these projects.
Excellent. Well, it's a story that I once covered in the past. I'll take a look at it and see if I
we'll have to talk about it in the future too.
If I want more work to do.
Exactly.
But it's an interesting story, and I know that there were management changes that I think it's a much stronger management team in my view. As I look at the bios, and I wasn't aware of all the changes that took place since I last looked at your company.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of good management team members come in.
It looks like a very strong management team, and that's really the most important thing.
Yep, exactly.
You start with management. If you don't have capable management, doesn't matter how good the project is.
That's true.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Ralph.
Thank you, Jay. It's
Really,
absolute pleasure
really
to see
catching
you
up with you again.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Good luck.